In this week's episode of The Source, myself and Carrie are heading to UCLan University, where Carrie's going to give a talk all about digital PR, search, SEO, and all the good stuff. But I'm going to ask some questions to Carrie in the car on the way down. But first, a message from our sponsors, the subscribe button. Subscribe.
Brought the sauce.
I brought the sauce.
Who made the sauce?
I made the sauce.
Who got the sauce?
I got the sauce.
What's in the sauce?
I am the sauce.
Okay.
Don't tell me you've tasted it.
One thing that should change to keep you happier at work.
Pandemic. I think for me, I just like being around people and feeling like we're winning together. The perfect example of this is the other day, there was around 40 people in the office, and that's like quite a lot of people that we've had in the office at once over the last few months.
Yeah.
And I've never felt so like energetic, happy, confident. I felt as if we was on a mission to do this together, and that's always been the truth and the case at Rise at 7. But I think seeing people together and kind of figuring solutions out together and sitting around tables and brainstorming and all that sort of stuff, I think it just felt amazing. I just want more of that. I want to 10 times it.
What's one of the best decisions you've made in the last 3 years?
Okay, I've got one.
Yeah.
A brand came to us in the early days and with a project. The project needed turning around in 5 days, and they had a really, really small budget, and essentially it was under what we would normally take on. We would never usually say yes to this sort of budget, but we said yes. And that's because we have 3 F's that we stick to: fame, fortune, and fun. If it doesn't tick the fortune, it has to tick the other 2. Is it going to bring us fame, or is it going to bring us some fun? And it did tick those 2. So we basically brought that project in. It was one of our most award-winning campaigns we've ever done. I think maybe 10 to 15 awards that we've achieved for that campaign. We turned it around in 5 days. We went live with it. We didn't make that much money off it, but then we got introduced to some of the biggest brands in the world, and we're working with 5 to 6 more clients off the back of it. So yeah, that was, I think a lot of people say, should you cut your costs, should you be taking risks, should you take on projects and clients that typically they haven't got the budget for? And I say yeah, if they're going to basically make you famous or give you a good time, let's have some fun. Well, that's what business is all about. It's about enjoying it. If for an example they weren't going to bring us fame and they weren't necessarily going to be the most fun client to work on, I'd have just said no.
Tell me what's the hold up, baby. Tell me why your phone's off lately. I don't wanna go all crazy, but I think I'm losing it.
Welcome to the guest lecture from our invited guests, who are Carrie Rose and James Hayward Brown from Rise at 7.
Essentially, because of the growth and the background and the creativity, we essentially got around 3,000 job applications in 12 months from students like yourselves.
Thank you, Carrie. It's an amazing story. How long will it be before somebody may copy what you do and pull the rug from under your feet? Not that I want that to happen, but in business, you're only as good as the last thing you've done.
I agree. You might think I'm crazy by saying this, but my business strategy is exactly that. I want people to copy me. And the reason being is, this industry is very new, meaning that people don't understand it, they don't really buy it, they don't put the money into it, but they're starting to, and that's because people are starting to sell it more. So the more people selling it, the more people talking about it, the more money comes into this industry, the more people want to work in the industry, and therefore we build it. Because we was the first to do it and we're the experts and the leaders, we're the ones that benefit. So my goal being here today, but also I talk at conferences all around the world even. I'm going to New York soon to talk there and teach people how we do what we do, because my goal is to build the industry. So the aim is that actually I want other people to kind of copy this. I want people to figure out how search can be creative as a discipline. But my job then is to constantly innovate. I've got to keep ahead of the trend and make sure that us as a business are seeing things and spotting opportunities that others aren't. So I believe that some agencies have started to think, they're onto something clearly, and start to follow what we do and take learnings from that for sure. But yeah, if I could get more people doing what we do, then I know that I've done my job right.
I'll cut you a deal.
I genuinely think we could as well.
Yeah, I love it.
Can I cut you a deal if you loved it so much? How about Pete and I bring a group of students over to New York doing the agency next year, and we'll come to your agency and come and see you. We'll pay for the students and us to come over.
No
We'll
way.
come and visit you. If you can come and speak to the students at your agency, we'll fly them over.
I think that'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, of course we'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll shake on it.
Yeah.
Right.
That'd be amazing.
It's on camera now, so you've got to...
Tell me what's the hold up.
If you could name one highlight in the last 3 years, what would that highlight be?
It was probably going to have to be the summer party.
Yeah?
Yeah. The summer party for me was a moment in, the Rise at 7 history of bringing a whole business together that I'd never met, I'd never seen each other in real life, but other than virtual, to say, look at what we've built together. And I think all of us in that room that time, we had, music, we had food, we was dancing, we was doing frigging backflips, there was all sorts going on. I think we was just all kind of coming together and looking at what we've built and celebrating. And that was just like a really emotional day for me. Like I cried a lot. But that's just because I'd never seen with my own eyes what we had built. And, having 100 people stood in front of you, kind of just drinking and having a good time, I don't know, it just made me really proud. So yeah, that was one of the best moments.
Got me feeling like I stepped Holy Ghost, stressing on my way to work.
So a CEO can't be involved in everything in the business.
No,
Is there one thing you wish you could be more involved in?
yeah, training. No one tells you this, but when you progress or build up a company and become the CEO, you end up doing the things that actually you used to be really good at, and teaching others to do what you do is something that I've always loved, and that was like the most exciting part of the early days of Rise 7, is literally passing down the secrets and the tips and advice of how we do what we do. And I haven't really done that a lot in the last 6 to 12 months. I've, relied on then my managers to do that, etc. And sometimes I just miss that, the instant impact that you can have on someone's career by just teaching them one little bit of advice, or showing them this tool or this little secret that I used to do that nobody else knows. And I think training, I don't know, it just gives you instant satisfaction, I think, of seeing people progress. So yeah, I think training is one of them. We've got more?
Yeah.
Go.
I know, I feel like you've been drained of questions. What are you most proud of at Rise 7?
Catching up to my competitors in 2 years. I think there's so much. A few competitors have got their eyes on us at the minute, and you can see they're copying our tactics. They've been copying what we do, how we do it, and they've got 5 years ahead of us, or even 3 years ahead of us on some of them, and we're already catching up, and we're only 2 years in. So that's what I'm most proud of. I think is I read this quote from, I think it was Elon Musk actually, and he was just basically saying, if you say that you're going to do something in 33 days or whatever it is, you will do it in 33 days. If you say you're going to do it in 33 minutes, you'll do it in 33 minutes. And we basically said to ourselves, we're going to do it in the next 2 years, and we did it. So we basically just made our big goals like tighter time frame. Put a lot of pressure on the business for sure, but we did it. It worked. So.
Tell me what's the hold up, baby. Tell me why your phone's off